Welcome to the Dice Tower.
And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today we're talking about a little game called Noval, which is named because there's cards in that burn thing, so Nova, and the cards are shaped like ovals, so
Oval.
Noval. Is the game a good game? Well, first of all, before we get into the video, I have to say that this is not a new game, I think, at all. I played games that have very similar feels to this, and the best one I think I played of this genre is a game from R&R games, Pig Power, and I don't get what this one brings that's so different. In fact, I don't like this game at all. Again, with the but Melody liked it more than I do, and the kids I played it with certainly seemed to enjoy it. So let's take a look at it, and maybe you too will enjoy it. Having worked at a print shop, I'm very impressed with how these cards are cut. Very nice rounded corners. Alright. Anyway, each player is going to be given a handful of cards, and they're going to put 3 of those cards in front of them face down without looking at them. They will then take 3 more cards from their hand. They're going to take the 3 highest cards that they have in their hand, and they're going to place those cards on top of those. You would be then left with a handful of cards, 4 cards, and on your turn, we are going to be looking at the middle of the table. At the middle of the table, we have the pile of cards. We turn the first card over. When it's your turn, you have to play a card that is higher than that card on the table. Now, the sequencing of card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After 10 comes bronze. After bronze comes silver. After silver comes gold. And after gold comes diamond. Nothing is higher than diamond. So I look at my hand, and I don't have anything higher than gold, but lo, I have a card that is equal to gold. That's fine. So I place that down and draw another card. And then let's say it comes around to me, and it's still gold for some reason. Then I could play this diamond. It comes around to me again. I have no cards that I can play, but I have no cards that are higher, but I can play a burn. A burn will go down and basically take out the whole pile. So as the game progresses, there will come points in time where you will not be able to play a card. But let's say this one here is a 4, and I look at my hand and I say, 2 4s. I can play both of them and get rid of both cards. But there's going to come a point in the game, like I said, where you're going to look at your hand and you're going to say, I don't have any cards that fit in it. Of course, I drew a hand that does. By the way, you can play a wild. That will cover anything, but the next person can cover it up with anything because it's a wild. So, wow, I'm getting the greatest luck in the world here. So here's a 10 on the top, and I have a 9, 5, 1, 1. I cannot play any cards on top of it. I am then forced to take this whole pile into my hand, which makes my hand gigantic. Now, I don't need to keep drawing cards anymore until my hand gets small again, but at the same time. So then I can play any number I want from my hand. So I look here, I'll play my 2 1s. Now, once the draw pile in the middle of the table runs out, at that point in time, I no longer use, once my hand is gone, I can then start using these cards and putting them in the middle. And once all 3 of the top cards are gone, so then, let's say, for example, the card in the middle is a 6. So I say, all right, I'm going to use this card. It's a mystery card. I turn over, 7. Woo! Okay, it comes around. It's a 7. I turn this card over, 4. Too bad. I take all the cards into my hand now, including the 4. But I get to start the next round. Eventually, though, one of the players will get rid of their last mystery card. Ooh, how lucky is that? And that player is the winner. As I said at the beginning of the game, I don't really like this because the other game did a better job that I've seen at this, where you put down 3 cards, put cards on top of them. There's really not much strategy here. It's almost always in your best interest to play the lowest possible card from your hand and save the high cards till you need them. The only time you should play a higher card maybe is when you're trying to mess someone else over, but even then you're kind of messing yourself over trying to play the lower cards later on. I don't know. And then the 3 cards underneath, those mystery cards, when you turn them over, you could just get really lucky and have fires, burns, or wilds, or diamonds. And people with low numbers, it just, I don't know. And yet the kids I played it with all had a good time. To me, this one's big thumbs down, but maybe you like it more than I do.
Maybe. Well, it's kind of medium because sometimes I just got really unlucky, like, okay, I got something there, and then they play something higher, I'm like, oh man, now I have to take all the cards, and annoying.
Yeah, It's just that, I mean, the oval cards, that's a neat concept. All right, I don't mind if more card manufacturers make cards that are different shapes. I like my donut game, the Baker's Dozen, because it has the round cards. I like the round cards in here. But the game here just doesn't offer many strategic choices while it pretends to. And not only that, it's not a very new, original idea either.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.